Okay, so here we are in Google AdWords, and uh, there's some things you need to keep in mind. Now, in order to set up image ads campaign, you're really going to already have to have an existing AdWords account, like we were talking about. Now, if you're new to AdWords and this is your first time, unfortunately, you're going to have to run a text ad campaign first before you have the ability to do the image campaign. There's something that you need to know about Google. They're always changing. Everything's always changing. Google AdWords now looks completely different than it did just a few months ago. So I would suggest going into the Google AdWords and setting up everything, signing up and seeing what you see, because what you see now may not be there when you get there. So for now, at this point, you have to have a text ad campaign that's running. But I'm not saying that it's going to be that way when you come back to AdWords. What you need to know is understand the concept here, understand where I'm clicking and what I'm doing, so that you can do the same thing no matter where they shuffle and move things around. Sometimes they just change headings. They like to change wording on people and make it really confusing, but it's pretty much the same concept. So you just understand where I'm going, and you'll be able to find it just fine. So let's go into setting up your first image campaign. On the main screen at the top, you'll see this tab here called Campaigns. You want to click there. Now when the campaigns come up, here's just some sample campaigns that I've loaded here. You'll see in the middle of your screen, you'll find over here when you get into the campaign section, New Campaign. You want to click that to get started with the process of setting up a new campaign. Now under the general title, you want to come in here and you just want to give your campaign a name. So for now we'll just leave it Campaign 2, but you can feel free to name it whatever the specific is for that particular niche that you're working on. And then you're going to come down for location, languages, and demographics. Here I usually click Bundle All Countries and Territories. And what this is going to do is, based on your target locations, it says you target pages that have like English interfaces and things like that. Now, I recommend that you target your campaign according to your customer's language. I'm assuming that it's English, which is the default, but you can target other languages as well. I haven't tried it with German. I've tried on other languages like Spanish, and it works great as well. So target your customers by location. Now, when you come down a little further, it'll show you right there the primary language, and then you can find out more about the languages here in AdWords. But pretty much, if you have a digital product that you're delivering, you can offer it in any location. Or even if it's an affiliate program for a digital product, or an affiliate program for a product that you know that location isn't really a prime deciding factor, then just go ahead and bundle all the countries and territories. Next, for network and devices, you just want to choose leave the defaults here, which is all available sites, all available devices. Your budget, you're required to set a daily budget, and I usually set it at $25 a day. Don't worry, you're never ever going to hit that. You can start off with a lower budget if you like, but I wouldn't recommend it. After all, you want to show Google that you're ready to spend money and that's what you're here for. But like I said, you don't have to worry, because you will never ever hit the $25 a day on the first day. You can always change these settings later. So we're going to go ahead and put in the 25 here, and we'll come on down to our next setting. Keeping in mind, you just want to keep these settings here the same. Manual bidding for clicks. And add extensions, we're going to leave all this as none, none, none. And we're going to click on Save and Continue. Now Google's asking you for an ad group name. You can come in here and give a specific ad group name if you want to group to remind yourself what they are. But just remember, we're not into that same AdWords mentality that you had to be if you were to do this in the search marketplace with keyword and text ads, where you have to have tightly grouped AdWords and tightly grouped names and everything has to match. You can throw that mentality out. You just want to come in here. You can leave it named Ad Group 1 if you want to, and click Text Ad. And since this is an image campaign, we want to change it to the image ad right here, not text ad. We want to make it image ad. and as soon as you do that, you'll see a screen change in front of you. And then Google will tell you, you'll create your image ad after you save this ad group, and that's fine. So as soon as you do see that, you want to come down here to keywords. This keyword section here is pretty much where you're going to use the list that you've compiled from words. And this is just a matter of pasting them in. Now your list may be 10,000 keywords long, as I suggested. It is absolutely critical that you put 10,000 words in Google AdWords to get the traffic, the enough impressions that we need. The more keywords you use, the more impressions you're going to get, and the more clicks that you're going to get. Now, if you're savvy to AdWords, or you've been doing this for some time, you know that this ad group will only allow you to put a current number of 2,000 keywords in it at a time. Now that number may fluctuate depending on what kind of policies and changes Google wants to make, but right now you can put 2,000 keywords in at a time. So what you'll need to do is repeat this process pretty much over and over until you've added all your keywords to a campaign. So for example, the best campaign that we've seen, the ones that turn out the most, they have about 12 ad groups totaling over 30,000 keywords, because they have 2,000 in there a piece. And that's what you need to be going for. So just go ahead and you put the keywords in here. We're just going to say keywords for now. We'll say business keywords and business from home. We'll just put those, and then those suck, and that's not even what we looked up, but it's just a space holder so that you can see exactly what the process is like. Now, when you come down placements, you just want to leave placements blank. You don't want to change any of that stuff. But you'll see next the ad group and the default bids. The ad group default bids, you're going to come here, and this is where you're going to set your 1 cent per click. But initially, we want to start it at 2 cents. So you'll come in and put the default bid at 2 cents, the managed placement bid at 2 cents, and the content bid at 2 cents. You set them all at 2 cents. Since we're setting up an image campaign, the max CPC for the search content really isn't relevant because our ads only get showed up in the content network, but you can put that in there anyway. Now, like I said, I usually set the minimum bid for 2 to 4 cents so that when we launch the campaign, they get a little bit more boost out the gate. After a few days, what we'll do is we'll come back in, and when the campaign is already running and generating traffic, we'll lower the bids to 1 cent. So you can start your campaign with 1 cent, but I've found it pretty much a lot easier and a lot faster to get approved if your maximum bid isn't 1 cent. Of course, if you bid 2 to 3 cents per click, you're going to get more impressions and more clicks. But if you're out there and you're really tight and your budget is tight and you're cheap, looking for the cheapest possible price for traffic, then you can lower your bid and still get 300 to 500 clicks per day, depending on your niche, and that's pretty impressive, for the amount of money you're going to be paying for it. So what you want to do after that point is you want to click on Save Ad Group. I'll just say set it up later. Let's see here. You click Save at the bottom, and what will pop up is AdWords remind you that you haven't added any ads yet, but you want to. So you're going to have this new tab at the bottom of your screen. All you need to do is upload your image ad. So you're going to use the browse button, and we're going to browse to the image that we created. We're going to name it business or whatever you want. The name really isn't going to have an effect on it. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see it except for you. And then you choose the display URL example, and we'll say the display URL where it takes them to. We'll just leave it as example. The destination URL, and that's it. So then you want to come in here. It'll tell you if the image, if it says 50K max. Here go all of the formats that I was telling you about earlier. The image types. Now let's take a look at that real quick, because this is something else that they've added here. And they show you examples of the different sizes that you need. And these are the sizes. Now I gave you sizes that were slightly smaller. For example, if it was 200 by 200, I made it slightly smaller so that nothing gets chopped off, because Google's going to add this right here at the bottom, ads by Google, and we want to make sure we fit it all in there. So that's why they were slightly smaller. So anyway, you go there and you click Save Ad, and what will happen next is Google will pull the image, and you will see it here, and it says pending review, and you'll be good to go and for that review. And that's it. You will have, upon completing all this, you've added the image ad. You would have successfully set up everything you need to start getting the types of clicks that we showed you back here. This is exactly what we've done here to get these clicks. We've gone in, finding a generic keyword. As long as it fits in your demographic, or as long as the keyword, I just wanted to stress this as well, the keyword that you start with. For example, we were marketing a product for home business ads. We just picked any. I mean, I know this flies in the face of everything they said, but you pick a popular keyword and you're golden. I mean, iPhones are coming out, so you pick iPhone. If I don't know, Yankees win the World Series, you can use Yankees and bring in all those keywords, because you're more going for the eyeballs, the impressions. The only people clicking your ad are the people who are interested, who are raising their hands saying they're interested. So you don't care what the click-through rate is. You know, you'll get a million impressions and you'll get a crap load of clicks, but those clicks are the people who are interested and they're targeted, and they want to see what you have to offer because it fits to them. I mean, a lot of people it won't fit to. Like you see here on the screen in front of you, only 0.27% of the people, 27% of the people, I'm sorry, not 27%, 0.27% of the people raised their hand and said we're interested. But that was enough to get 1,693 clicks for $16. The only place online where you can do that and the traffic will be targeted. Now all you want to do is go through and repeat the process. Repeat the process and do this for each and every one of your ad groups. Don't forget, it's highly recommended that you design your ads in all sizes in order to get as many impressions as possible. You want to get as many impressions as possible. And then by having it in all sizes and in all the countries, I mean, their traffic, it's going to basically, you have to be prepared for this type of traffic, because if you have the baby package at HostGator or some small package and you're doing things like hosting video on your site, and you have 1,000 people in a day coming to your site to take a look at it, you're going to run into problems pretty quickly. So, but that's a good problem to have, and a lot of people aren't even fortunate enough to get to that problem. If you can do that, it's just a matter of adjusting your hosting account. If you want to set up your campaigns faster, I wanted to mention for this blueprint, you should definitely check out AdWords Editor. It's a free software, and the AdWords team put it together, and it will help you upload the keywords and the ads into your campaigns quicker, and do it from one central kind of control panel setting. So that's a whole other system, and they have their own tutorials that'll show you how to use AdWords. And like I said, it's not required, but once you get enough of these things going, you're going to want to do that and have all of those. All the tools that you can possibly use. So that's our pretty much our underground AdWords blueprint, and it's very, very powerful. That alone will get you thousands of clicks a day that you wouldn't even have thought possible for that pricing. Next, we're going to take a look at our 8 million visitors secret blueprint, and this is a very strong system coming up. Blueprint that you'll see next that allows you to leverage free traffic as well. And this is truly free traffic. There's some minor things you need to set up, but once you get it set up, it's an avalanche of new visitors, and you'll be able to use that in pretty much any niche that you choose.